Hey howdy, welcome back to our channel. In this video we are going to see, what if Naruto has Tenten and Tayuya? This is part 1, if you wants to see next part, please leave a like, it's motivate me to make more videos, and I request you to check out author named The Tales of Naruto Uzumaki by SSJ3 Kyuubi Gohan, so do check out. And I have uploaded Naruto x Mikoto Uncensored Lemon, so if you are adult do check out. All details in description. Now let's jump into video. A boy around the age of 15 was walking down the street. This boy, however, was no ordinary boy. He had blonde spiky hair, deep blue eyes and 3 whisker-like marks on each of his cheeks. He wore an orange jumpsuit along with goggles on his forehead and was about 1.5 meters in height with a small build. His name was Naruto Uzumaki. The one aspect which made Naruto so unique is that inside of him was sealed the 9-tailed demon fox which attacked the village hidden in the leaves 15 years ago on Naruto's birthday of October 10th. Naruto walked along the street, the gravel crunching under his sandals, with shops on both sides of him selling food, clothes and other necessities. The shops themselves appeared to look like small houses. Naruto was heading to the Ichiraku ramen shop after another day of being unable to succeed in the basic tasks required of him by the academy. Sigh, why can't I do anything right? Everything I try to do is a failure, Naruto said out loud. They were practicing jutsus today and Naruto failed miserably in trying to produce a clone once again, much to the amusement of his classmates. Naruto looked around and noticed those who were looking at him at the time gave him glares filled with small amounts of fear and overwhelming amounts of hatred. He sighed and kept walking. Why am I looking around to see if anyone is listening? After all, no one cares about me anyway and wouldn't even blink an eye if I started talking to myself, thought Naruto bitterly. Line break. After wallowing in his depressive thoughts for a while, he finally arrived at the Ichiraku ramen shop. The shop was a small square building with flaps hanging off the base of the roof at the entrance, as well as a lantern on the right. Inside there was a counter and 10 bars stools with the kitchen behind the counter. Hey, old man Ichiraku, Naruto said cheerfully, becoming much happier than he was before, as he was now in his favorite ramen shop which serves his favorite food, ramen. Naruto, good to see you, the usual right? Asked Tuchi. Tuchi was a man in his 40s and had a small potbelly. Tuchi's attire consisted of an apron and a chef's hat and always seemed to have a happy demeanor, which made it difficult to see his eyes, as well as black hair which was starting to turn gray. You better believe it, old man, Naruto said loudly, as he jumped up on one of the stools. Coming right up. Also, since I know it's your birthday, today it's all on the house, Tuchi said happily. Really? Cried Naruto, his eyes shining with elation, with a small amount of drool escaping his mouth. Chuckle, yep, Ayame and I also got you a little present, said Tuchi cheerfully before he went to make Naruto his ramen, while Ayame came out from the kitchen. Ayame was Tuchi's daughter and wore similar attire to her father minus the hat, and in place wore a white bandana. She had long brown hair and brown eyes. Oh, what is it? Asked Naruto, practically jumping off the stool, all thoughts of the academy forgotten. Here you go, Naruto, Ayame said happily, handing Naruto an envelope. Naruto opened the envelope and couldn't believe his eyes. 10 whole day free meal vouchers, said Naruto before he lowered his head with his bangs overshadowing his eyes. Eventually Naruto looked back up and was on the verge of crying from joy. Thanks a lot you guys, said Naruto, just about to cry, but instead gave a big smile. Line break. Naruto finished 12 bowls of ramen and headed home. On the way home he noticed the villagers staring at him even more aggressively than usual and tried to understand why they hated him so much. Unable to think of a reason, he smiled at them and kept on walking, which somehow caused them to become even angrier. Honestly, what have I ever done which could make all these people so angry? My pranks aren't that annoying, are they? Mused Naruto internally. Finally he arrived at his apartment, if it could even be called that. His apartment was leaning slightly to the right with a small 10-centimeter diameter hole on the roof, which he had to patch up himself with whatever rotting lumber he could find. The power died every 6 hours and the hot water for the house only lasted for 5 minutes at a time, but still, it was all he had. He went in and had a quick shower before getting ready for bed. Naruto was asleep in no time, and that's when things got weird. Line break. Where am I? Thought Naruto. Naruto walked around in the darkness for a minute, eventually finding what looked to be a set of pipes. He saw a red light in the distance and quickly rushed ahead. He followed it and eventually came across what looked like a jail cell with a piece of paper on the middle which said, "Seal." Naruto then thought he heard a sound, so being a 15-year-old boy who had absolutely no idea where he was or how he got there, he did the obvious. He asked, "Who's there?" There was no reply until the sound of a deep sinister laughter echoed around him. "Ha ha ha ha," laughed an ominous voice. Now scared and a little annoyed, Naruto asked again, "Who's there?" "Ha ha, puny human, it is I, the nine-tailed fox," boomed a loud and deep voice filled with malicious undertones. Naruto, who was quite scared at this point, asked frightfully, "What do you want? For that matter, why are you here? I thought the fourth killed you, how are you alive?" "Grr, silence. Don't mention that accursed man around me again," growled the fox. Naruto was clearly shaken, and the fox grinned at that. Now you don't have to be scared, however if these bars weren't here, you would be," said the fox. "Fine, I'm not scared now, what are you doing here?" asked Naruto, most fear gone from his voice, only a slight tremble lingering. "You've got guts, kid, and I admire that. Also, since it's your birthday and you have shown me that you have some backbone, I'm going to give you a little present," said the fox with a devilish grin. "Well, what are you going to give me?" asked Naruto, mildly curious, but still suspicious of the large entity in front of him. "Come closer to the cage so I can give it to you," said the fox. Naruto tentatively took steps closer to the cage until the fox stuck his claws in between the bars of the cage. Naruto jumped back barely in time. "I want to give you a quick and painful death and escape from here," shouted the fox, angry at having been unable to reach Naruto. "Hey, what the hell are you doing, you stupid fox?" screamed Naruto angrily. The fox growled for a minute before breathing out and deciding to be a little bit more nice. "Well, foolish human, since I can't kill you or escape, I figured we could work out a deal and I could give you something in exchange," said the fox. Naruto wasn't too trusting after the fox's most recent attempt to kill him, so he narrowed his eyes at the fox and asked, "What am I going to get?" "Well, for one thing I'm going to let you use my chakra and not disrupt your own because I don't want my vessel to be a failure and by reflection make me look pathetic," began the fox, before being interrupted. "Wait. Are you telling me I couldn't do anything right because you were stopping me and it's your fault that everyone sees me as a loser?" asked Naruto, absolutely enraged, not even caring that he was mouthing off to a being which almost destroyed the Leaf Village. "Yes," replied the fox nonchalantly. "Why?" stammered Naruto. "For fun. Don't forget that I have been trapped in here for 15 years with nothing to do," said the fox, smiling and showing all of his huge and razor-sharp teeth. "What? That's ridiculous. You are one sick fox for making me deal with all of this trouble and making me fail at everything I try to do," growled Naruto. "Perhaps, but it's because of you, I, the strongest tailed beast, has had to be trapped inside the belly of a puny fleshy body for 15 years. Therefore, consider what I've been doing payback," retorted the fox unhappily. Naruto couldn't say a thing to that and couldn't believe someone had fun torturing him all his life, but understood that the fox had been trapped for a long time. "Now, if you're done complaining, I'll tell you what else you are going to get," continued the fox, pausing to see if Naruto would respond. Naruto didn't say anything, causing the fox to give a small snort of approval. "Good," said the fox before disappearing for a second and came back with one of his tails wrapped around something which he pushed out of the cage. "This is the summoning contract for demon foxes. No one has ever been allowed to sign it, but seeing as how I'm trapped in here, I might as well give you the contract. Plus, if you learn to summon me, I'll be finally allowed out of this cage," said the fox with a faraway look. "Wait, if I summon you, how do I know you aren't going to go crazy and destroy everything?" asked Naruto, suspicion laced heavily in his voice. "Insolent brat. I am not a mindless beast bent on destruction, well usually," muttered the fox. "In any case, if you summon me, I will be partially tied to your will and thus won't be able to do something which you have directly said not to do, like destroying this puny village," said the fox. I don't know. How can I trust you?" questioned Naruto. "Idiot, I'm giving you the chance to fulfill your dreams and you're questioning me. Fine. Even if you don't trust me, kid, just release the summoning and I'll be right back in here," growled the fox in irritation. "Okay, Nine Tails. Oh, and what's a kit?" asked Naruto, with his head tilted to the side. What I'm going to call you from now on, which is usually what foxes refer to their kids as, kits. Also call me Kyubi. At least for now anyway, finished the fox. Okay, whatever you say, said Naruto nonchalantly. I can't wait to show everyone how good I am, thought Naruto, already imagining what he was going to do. Naruto bit his thumb and got blood on all his fingertips, before writing his name, followed by pressing his fingers under it, completing the signing. One more thing, Kit, don't summon me unless you really need to, because right now it would drain all your chakra, putting you in a dangerous state. Although, on the other hand, go ahead, and if you die I'll be freed, said the fox, while taking the contract back with another tail now that it was signed. Okay, however, there's no way I will let you free. That being said, one day I am going to have to do something to get rid of all that hate inside you, said Naruto while thinking about all the possibilities of being able to summon foxes. The fox was surprised that Naruto cared for it. Could he be different than the others? Thought the fox. Naruto awoke the next day feeling happy, however, he also felt that something inside him had changed. Getting out of bed, he went through his morning activities and then set out to get some ramen. After eating, he figured he would go train, and that's when he heard something. Hey Kit, said a voice. Who's there? Asked Naruto, looking around trying to spot who had spoken, only to find he didn't see anyone nearby. You aren't going to find me out there, I'm in your head, said the voice with an amused tone. Kyubi, thought Naruto. It seems you're not as dumb as I thought you were, chuckled Kyubi. Why are you in my head? Asked Naruto. I'll tell you in a minute, but first, stop speaking out loud. If you think something I will hear it, said Kyubi with an even tone. Really? Questioned Naruto in his mind. Yep, see for yourself, said Kyubi. Okay. What do you want, Kyubi? Thought Naruto with a bit of annoyance in his tone, as he was hungry. Hey, I'm trying to help you get stronger here, so talk to me with the proper respect or I will annoy you until you go mad, growled the fox. Sai, what do you want? Relented Naruto. I want you to go to a weapons store and buy a katana and have the blade made 50 centimeters long. Also, I want you to get ankle weights, wrist weights and a weighted vest which are capable of increasing in weight with chakra. One more thing is I want you to buy 100 or so 3-pronged kunai with an area on the handle where you can place a seal around. It should be around 20 centimeters in girth to allow for the seal. Lastly, get some sealing paper and ink as well as a small brush, said Kyubi. Do you think I am rich or something? I am an orphan, I can't afford all that, ranted Naruto in his mind. No, but this won't cost you more than the money you spend on food in a week, and since you have those vouchers and you only eat ramen, I'd say you are taken care of in that department, replied the fox nonchalantly. Fine, growled Naruto in his mind. Line break. Naruto went to the nearest weapon store, which was a small 4-walled building with a flat roof that was significantly higher than the other shops around, while still being only one level. He walked in and spotted a girl he recognized from when he was in the academy. Hey Tenten, how's it going? Said Naruto, happy at seeing a familiar face and not having to talk to the fox. Naruto. What are you doing here? Asked Tenten, who since graduating, had never seen Naruto again, aside from occasionally seeing him running through the village evading Anbu. Tenten wore a pink sleeveless blouse and dark green pants with her hair up in 2 buns, with her forehead protector just under her fringe on her forehead. She was also around Naruto's height, being only a couple centimeters taller. Oh, I'm here to buy some things for my training, stated Naruto. Oh, well, tell me what you need, and I'll see if we have it, said Tenten happily. Naruto told her what he wanted, but there was a problem with the kunai. Naruto, those kunai aren't something we have in stock, as I have never heard of anyone buying them, so it'll take about 3 days until they are ready, as they would come under the option of being a custom order, said Tenten. Hey Kyubi, what should I do? Thought Naruto. Idiot, obviously come and get them when they are done, growled the fox in disbelief. Damn Kyubi, relax, I was just asking, thought back Naruto. Alright Tenten, I'll be back in 3 days for those, thanks for the help and see you around, said Naruto after paying. Okay. See you in 3 days I guess, said Tenten, sounding a little confused at Naruto's rapid mood change from being deep in thought to cheerful in the span of a few seconds. Line break. Naruto followed Kyuubi's directions until he found himself at a small training ground with lots of trees and a small stream running through it. Kyuubi instructed him to use this training ground over the next 2 days, as it seemed to be one of the lesser frequented ones. Over the next 2 days, Naruto learned how to climb trees and walk on water with his chakra. His weights were all up to 5 kilograms each, with the vest being 20. He also did standard exercises such as push-ups, crunches, lunges, squats, calf raises and log punches and kicks. Additionally, he familiarized himself with his sword and did diagonal slashes, vertical slashes, and horizontal slashes, until Kyuubi deemed his form acceptable. Line break. On the 3rd day, Naruto went back to the weapon shop, but Tenten wasn't there, and in her place, there was a large well-built man, who Naruto assumed to be the owner of the shop. "Hello, I'm Naruto Uzumaki and I'm here for my custom order kunai," said Naruto in a business-like tone. "Uzumaki, huh? Well, here are your kunai. I expect great things from you," said the shop owner. "Thanks, old man, and you will see great things from me. I'm going to be the Hokage," Naruto said, before he was about to say his signature catchphrase, though the fox interjected. "Say, believe it, and you won't believe what I will do to you," threatened the fox. "Tisk, fine," thought Naruto. "See you around," said Naruto, before he left the store to train. Line break. Naruto continued to train over the next 3 days, spending the last day practicing calligraphy until Kyuubi told him his characters were drawn to an adequate standard. Finally, the day of the exam came. Naruto arrived at the academy and sat down behind Sasuke in an empty row, much to Kyuubi's ire if his growl was any indication. "Blasted Uchiha, this one even looks like Madara," raged Kyuubi. First there was the written examination, which Naruto struggled with as the questions he was given were so hard that even Sakura, the smartest girl in the class, would struggle with, after which there was the jutsu examination. Iruka stood up and said, "The jutsu you will be tested on is the clone jutsu." Naruto instantly knew he would fail because he could never do that jutsu due to having heaps of chakra and not having good enough control yet. However, he was hopeful that just maybe he had enough control to do it now. When his turn came, he tried his hardest, but all he got was one dead-looking clone. Both Naruto and Iruka were twitching when Mizuki spoke up. "Iruka, we could let him pass. It is his 3rd try, so he has shown he is dedicated to becoming a ninja." Naruto got his hopes up a little but wasn't going to like what came next when Iruka spoke. "Mizuki, all the other children produced at least 3 effective replications, while Naruto could only produce 1, and look at it, it's pitiful. I'm afraid I can't pass him." Naruto sighed, but his bad mood was somewhat mitigated by the sad fact that he knew he wasn't going to pass. "I thought you said you stopped messing with my chakra?" thought Naruto. "I did. But you had abysmal chakra control even without my interference, and a couple days of practicing chakra control is not going to make much of a difference thanks to how large your reserves are," replied Kyuubi. "Sigh, oh well, I guess," said the orange-clad ninja despondently, before exiting the academy. Line break. Naruto was really depressed seeing as he was the only one who failed. After listening to the cruel words of the villagers thanks to his enhanced senses, he was just about ready to leave and hide himself away, when Mizuki found him outside. "Hey Naruto, let's talk," said Mizuki. Naruto walked off with Mizuki and they sat on the roof of a building near the academy. "Iruka doesn't hate you. He just really wants to make sure you're ready for the duties of a ninja," said Mizuki warmly. "Well, I am trying, but nothing seems to work," said Naruto hopelessly. "I just really want to be a ninja," said Naruto. As Mizuki heard this, he got a glint in his eyes which was missed by Naruto. "Well Naruto, there is a secret graduation exam," said Mizuki with a smile. He proceeded to tell Naruto about the scroll of seals and that anyone who knew one of those techniques would become a leaf ninja. Naruto had his suspicions but didn't want to look a gift horse in the mouth, so he ignored them for now. Line break. Later that night, Naruto stole the scroll and learnt the first jutsu on it, the Shadow Clone Jutsu. After he finished learning it, Kyuubi spoke up, "Hey kid, look for a technique called the Flying Thunder God." After taking a quick glance at it, he realized something. "I'm guessing that's why you wanted me to buy those kunai," thought Naruto. "Yep," replied the fox with a grin. "You kitsunes really are tricky, aren't you?" stated Naruto rhetorically. Naruto found the technique and hastily made a seal with his brush according to the seal array he found in the scroll, with the ink he had with him, after he dropped some of his blood into the ink. Unnoticed by Naruto, when he dropped his blood into the ink it took on a yellowish hue, before it reverted back to its dark blue coloring. He carefully attached the seals to the three-pronged kunai, then grabbed them and tried to do the jutsu on a few nearby trees. However, he couldn't make it all the way to the kunai and only covered half the distance. Naruto practiced for half an hour when suddenly Iruka appeared and said with a grin, "It's all over, Naruto." "Hey Iruka-sensei, you caught me, and I was only able to master one technique and start learning another," said Naruto, giving one of his signature grins. Iruka looked around and saw the damage done to the trees and to Naruto himself when he asked Naruto why he stole the scroll. Naruto happily replied, "Mizuki-sensei told me anyone who knows one of the jutsus in this scroll becomes a leaf ninja." "That's why you stole the scroll?" asked Iruka. "Yep, because I have to become a genin if I'm going to become Hokage, and I will," said Naruto. Seeing Iruka's confused face, Naruto had only one thought. "I knew Mizuki was lying," he thought angrily. Iruka was stunned however by the response, and at that moment Mizuki had arrived on the scene, hearing what Naruto had said and started laughing. "Ha ha ha. You? The Hokage? In your dreams, you will never become the Hokage, and you want to know why?" "Mizuki, stop, it's forbidden to speak of it," yelled Iruka. "Quiet Iruka. Naruto, you will never be the Hokage because you have the nine-tailed fox sealed within you and everyone despises you for it," said Mizuki, with a sadistic smirk on his face. Naruto was stunned, but not because of the knowledge of the fox being sealed inside him, but rather because he now knew why the villagers hated him. Mizuki then threw a huge shuriken at Naruto and Naruto was too stunned to move, so Iruka got in front of it and got hit in the back. "Why, Iruka-sensei?" asked Naruto. "Because Naruto, you and I are the same," said Iruka, becoming tearful. Iruka proceeded to tell Naruto about his parents dying against the fox and how he became the class clown to gain acknowledgement, before the third Hokage approached him and helped him see a new path he could follow which would still gain him acknowledgement, the path of hard work. "What a touching scene, but I must be going now, so I'm going to need that scroll now," said Mizuki. Naruto was now enraged at Mizuki for tricking him and hurting Iruka, so he entered his initial Kyuubi form and growled, "If you ever lay a hand on my sensei again, I'll kill you." Mizuki, seeing the eyes of the fox, was momentarily taken aback but thought he could still beat Naruto. "Bring it on, Nine Tails," said Mizuki confidently. "Fine, you asked for it. Shadow Clone Jutsu," yelled Naruto. 5,000 solid clones of Naruto appeared all around Mizuki. Mizuki started panicking and tried to find a way out but couldn't. "Now you're going to pay for hurting Iruka-sensei," growled all the clones of Naruto. The clone army beat up Mizuki with pure taijutsu and didn't stop until he passed out from pain and blood loss. "Hee, guess I should have gone easy on him," said Naruto while grinning as he scratched the back of his head. "You did well, Naruto," said Iruka, line break. Afterwards, Iruka told Naruto to close his eyes, and when he opened them, he had on a leaf shinobi forehead protector, and Iruka said, "Congratulations Naruto, you pass." Naruto was so happy he hugged Iruka-sensei, and afterwards they went and ate ramen. Naruto went home that day happy for once, with the knowledge that someone cared about him. Line break. The third Hokage, having observed all of the night's events through a crystal ball, was now leaning back in his chair reflecting on his former successor, now predecessor, while smoking his pipe. "Truly Minato, you were a genius, to attune a technique to the point that it could only be used by your direct descendant through usage of their blood. Truly a genius," thought Hiruzen Sarutobi, as he glanced at the portrait depicting the visage of the fourth Hokage. Naruto awoke the next day happy. He had finally become a leaf shinobi and he was enjoying it. Naruto went back to the training ground he trained at before and decided to explore it a bit more. "Wow, I never noticed how cool this place looks," said Naruto aloud. He walked around the training ground, which had lots of trees, a small lake, 3 stumps in a line near the lake, and a memorial stone. Naruto walked up to the stone and after a moment of silence looked around, because he felt someone's eyes on him. He looked around before his eyes settled on a particular area between 2 aging trees. He stared for a while before walking off to train. So that's Sensei's son. Guess the reports on him are wrong," thought a Junin named Kakashi Hitaki. Line break. Naruto walked to his usual area surrounded by trees, before getting to work. First, he wrote down the seal sequence he wrote down before on a piece of paper with the ink he bought, mixed with a bit of his blood, which he got from cutting his hand open with a kunai before the fox healed it. He then wrapped the seal around the handle marker and stood up. Naruto walked over to a tree, then backed up until he stood 20 meters away from it and threw a kunai at it. Naruto disappeared in a flash of orange but only made it halfway. "Damn it!" shouted Naruto after futilely repeating this for 6 hours and not getting any better at it. "Kid, relax, this is a hard technique anyway. For now, do your daily taijutsu and kenjutsu practice and we will come back to this technique later," said Kyuubi calmly. "Sigh, okay," thought back Naruto, before he started his usual exercises. Line break. Naruto went and got his picture taken, which would be used to show people who want to give the Leaf Village missions what he looks like, or simply put, his identification picture. He considered taking an elaborate photo complete with face paint, but then decided against it and took a standard photo and handed it into the Hokage, who accepted it. As he was leaving, a boy with short spiky brown hair and black eyes charged in. He also had a small chip in his tooth and wore a yellow shirt with the symbol of the Leaf Village in red, gray shorts, and a long blue scarf. He also wore a gray helmet that had an orange frowning face on the right side, a red circle on the left side, and had a hole at the top for his hair to stick out of. His attempt to assassinate the Hokage in an effort to become the next Hokage was a failure as he tripped over his scarf. The third mumbled something about his grandson's 20th attempt to assassinate him, while Naruto with his fox hearing heard this and asked, "This is your grandson?" "Sigh, yes Naruto, that's my grandson, Konohamaru," said Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage. What happened?" asked Konohamaru. While somewhat dazed and confused from his fall, upon looking up he sees Naruto and instantly starts blaming him for tripping him. "Sigh, I don't have the time for this, later Konohamaru," said Naruto with a tired voice. "What did you call me?" asked Konohamaru with an astonished face. "Konohamaru, that is your name, isn't it?" asked Naruto bluntly. "Yeah, but people don't normally call me that. They call me," said Konohamaru before he was interrupted by a cry. "Honorable grandson!" exclaimed Ebisu. Ebisu took one glance at Naruto and gave him those cold eyes, thinking, "The nine-tailed fox brat." Naruto recognized the stare as the one all the villagers gave him, so he turned and left. After he left, Konohamaru snuck away from Ebisu and followed Naruto. Naruto kept walking even though he knew that Konohamaru was behind him. He led them to a training ground with lots of trees, then spoke up, "Konohamaru, why do you want to be the Hokage?" Konohamaru replied, "So people will see me as Konohamaru and not just the honorable grandson. My grandfather named me Konohamaru after the village, so it should be easy to remember, but..." Konohamaru paused before continuing. "It's always honorable grandson. No one sees me as Konohamaru," finished Konohamaru in a depressed tone. Naruto smiled. "So am I no one?" asked Naruto, confusing Konohamaru. "Huh?" replied Konohamaru. "I see you as Konohamaru, a proud member of the Leaf Village and one day a great ninja," said Naruto, as he finished with a smile. Konohamaru began sniffling in an attempt to hold back his tears of happiness. "But I'll tell you right now, you aren't going to become Hokage just by wanting it, you need to do something about it," said Naruto calmly, which caused Konohamaru to look up angrily at Naruto. "What's that supposed to mean?" said Konohamaru as he stood up angrily. "The Hokage is the strongest in the entire village. Are you telling me that no one in this village can beat you in a fight? That you could beat every ninja in this village on your own even if they all teamed up against you?" finished Naruto, being serious for once. "No, but I figured that if I could beat Gramps," began Konohamaru before he broke off, realizing that he probably couldn't even beat his teacher, Ebisu, and sat down depressed again. Now, don't be so down, you can still become Hokage," said Naruto, causing Konohamaru to look up again with hopeful eyes. "If you want to be Hokage, you need be really skilled. One very important skill to have is good chakra control. To have great chakra control you need to practice. One technique is to try to climb trees with only your chakra and feet while walking straight up the trunk," said Naruto. Konohamaru mumbled something about impossible, so Naruto climbed the tree and Konohamaru was stunned. "Konohamaru, There are no shortcuts to becoming Hokage. There is only one way to get there, and that is the way you must take. The path of hard work. Also, one more thing, if you want to become Hokage, you're going to have to beat me in battle," said Naruto, his voice turning challenging at the end. Konohamaru said, "Whatever, I'm going to become Hokage, and if you are in my way, that means we're rivals." Naruto chuckled and said, "Okay Konohamaru, I'll see you when you're ready and we will decide who is going to be the Hokage later." Konohamaru's eyes burned with determination as he proceeded to train. "Just you wait, boss," thought Konohamaru. Line break. The next day, line break, Naruto woke up and headed to the academy to meet his Junin instructor and his team. Naruto sat next to the empty seat next to Sasuke and proceeded to go into his mind and talk with Kyuubi. "Hey Kyuubi, when are you going to teach me a powerful jutsu? I mean, chakra control and sword slashes might help up to a certain point, but I need something to back them up," whined Naruto. Okay. I guess it is time I teach you one. First, place your hand on the wall over there and channel your chakra. It will help us find out your natural affinity, and jutsus which are of your natural affinity are the easiest to learn," instructed Kyuubi. Naruto placed his hand on a wall which had the symbols of fire, wind, lighting, earth, and water in a circle. After a moment of channeling his chakra, the symbol for wind glowed. "I guess wind is your natural affinity. Okay. The technique I'm going to get you to learn is the wind release. Vacuum sword. It involves using your chakra and your sword to release a gust of wind which can stop projectiles and could probably be used to force opponents back if you put in enough chakra. This scroll should tell you how to do it." A scroll materialized at Naruto's feet, and he quickly memorized what to do. Says here if I focus my chakra enough, I could release a blade of wind instead of a gust. Cool. Okay, see you later Kyuubi. With that, Naruto left his mind. When he came back to the world, Sakura and Ino had just barged into the door. Naruto liked Sakura before he met Kyuubi, who opened his eyes to the truth, which was that all she talked about was Sasuke, and today was no exception, not to mention the fact that she was excessively violent. She ran straight up to the row where Naruto and Sasuke were sitting and ignored Naruto, paying only attention to Sasuke. "Good morning, Sasuke," she said sweetly, only for Sasuke to not even bother responding to the greeting in the slightest. Naruto watched in amusement as all the other girls came and almost simultaneously started arguing over who gets to sit next to Sasuke, all ignoring Naruto. "Sigh fangirls," said Naruto, almost feeling sorry for them. "So troublesome," said someone who Naruto recognized. "Hey Shikamaru," said Naruto. "Naruto, how did you get here?" asked Shikamaru in surprise because he was sure Naruto had failed. "Oh, well, I kind of stole the scroll of seals and learned the shadow clone jutsu, and something else," he thought but didn't say. "Sigh, that's so troublesome. Why couldn't you have just passed the genin exam like everyone else?" said Shikamaru in a lazy drawl. Well, you see, I couldn't," said Naruto, scratching the back of his head in embarrassment. At that moment, Iruka-sensei walked in and the fangirls settled down. Team 7 led by Kakashi Hatake includes Naruto Uzumaki, Sakura Haruno and Sasuke Uchiha. Sakura cheered while Naruto sighed and thought to himself, "I wonder what Tenten is doing right now." After thinking this, Kyuubi started to laugh. "Haha, has Kit got a mate in sight?" teased the fox. "Shut up, demon fox," thought Naruto in annoyance, with a small blush at what Kyuubi was implying. "Ah, was that a personal thought? Don't tell me you were going into heat now," mocked Kyuubi. Naruto resolved to ignore the fox so as to maintain his dignity. After the teams were announced, the students waited for their Junin instructors. Team 7 was left behind, waiting 3 hours after the time their instructor should have come. While they were waiting, Naruto took the moment to appraise his teammates. Sakura had bright pink hair, large green eyes, and fair skin. Sakura wore a red dress with white circular designs with sleeves and a zipper. She also wore a pair of tight dark green shorts and had her forehead protector tied up in her hair, resting on the top of her head. She was staring dreamily at Sasuke, not a care in the world. Sasuke had black hair with a blue tint and onyx eyes. His bangs hung on both sides of his face, roughly framing his cheeks, with his hair being spiky in the back. Sasuke's clothing consisted of a blue, short-sleeved shirt with a raised collar and the Uchiha crest on the back and white arm warmers, along with white shorts. He also wore a short blue-clothed forehead protector. He was almost completely absent to the world, staring off into space. Finally, a man wearing a mask and a leaf forehead protector covering his left eye, garbed in the standard leaf shinobi outfit, along with iron-plated gloves, appeared at the door. When he entered, Sakura emerged from her daydreaming and yelled, "You're late." My first impression of you guys is..." He paused. "You're pathetic," he concluded in a bored tone. Naruto didn't take too kindly to this, so he quickly threw a shuriken at the Junin's head to see if he really was all that. Surprisingly, he caught it through the center using only his index finger and threw it back at Naruto, who then followed suit and caught it through the center as well, causing Sakura to gape at seeing masterful control of shuriken from the supposed dead last and Sasuke to raise an eyebrow. Kakashi's reaction was hidden, but he was happily surprised. "It was fun playing catch with you, sensei," said Naruto while grinning, causing Sakura and Sasuke to return to their normal expressions, annoyed and broody respectively. "Well, at least he isn't completely pathetic," thought Sasuke, while taking a discreet glance at Sakura while mentally sighing. "See you upstairs," said Kakashi. Line break on the roof. Kakashi was waiting for them to arrive and sit down. Once they sat down, he spoke, "My name is Kakashi Hitaki and I'm your Junin instructor. Okay, tell me your name, your likes and dislikes, and your dreams for the future and hobbies," he finished in his bored tone. Sakura spoke up and asked, Sensei, can you go first so we can see what it should look like?" "Really, how hard can it be to give a little bio on yourself?" thought Kakashi, while mentally sighing. Kakashi obliged, albeit after a slight pause, and said, "My name is Kakashi Hitaki. My likes: the fourth Hokage, make out paradise. And dislikes: fangirls and those who leave their comrades behind. I don't feel like telling you. My dreams: I never really thought about it, and as for my hobbies, I have lots of hobbies. Okay, now it's your turn. You in the orange, you're up," finished Kakashi before pointing to Naruto. Naruto perked up at this and spoke, "My likes are eating ramen with Iruka-sensei, ramen, and ninja training. I dislike waiting for ramen to cook, ignorant people who are blinded by stupidity and fangirls," snorted Naruto, sparing a brief side glance at Sakura. "My hobbies are eating ramen and comparing different types, exercising, playing pranks, and learning new jutsu, and my dream is to become the Hokage so the village will stop disrespecting me and have to acknowledge my existence, as well as being able to protect those important to me," finished Naruto before sitting back down. Well, he has grown up in an interesting way, but it's good to see he likes ninja training and shows a surprising level of maturity and perception if his dislike of ignorant people is any indication, thought Kakashi. "Okay, you're next, girly," said Kakashi. Sakura bristled at the comment but quickly got over it and started talking. "My likes, the person I like is..." begun Sakura, before she looked at Sasuke and giggled. "My hobbies," said Sakura again, before she once again looked at Sasuke. "My dreams for the future are..." She once again looked at Sasuke and squealed. "My dislikes are Naruto," shouted Sakura at the end. Naruto quite frankly couldn't care in the slightest and was reading over his jutsu scroll in his mind, while Kakashi was upset thinking that her thinking was more concerned about boys than ninja training. "Great, a fangirl." Kakashi inwardly sighed. Lastly, Sasuke spoke, "My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I hate a lot of things and don't particularly like anything. I don't have a dream, because I will make it a reality. I'm going to restore my clan and destroy a certain someone," finished Sasuke in his dark tone. Naruto thought, "I wonder who he is talking about. Great, a dark, moody avenger," thought Kakashi with a sigh. "Sasuke is so hot," said the pink-clad girl. Kakashi then spoke up and told them what they were going to do tomorrow. "Tomorrow we are going to be doing a survival test because out of the 27 academy graduates, only 9 will become genin and the rest will be sent back to the academy. Oh, did I forget to mention that your chances of failing are 66% and that you shouldn't eat breakfast because if you do, you'll puke," finished Kakashi, with a deceptively cheerful-looking eye smile. All were intrigued at the odds but didn't say anything. After that, Kakashi dismissed them and told them to meet at 5 a.m. sharp at Training Ground 7. Naruto went back to his newly dubbed personal training ground and started to practice the wind release vacuum sword technique, which involved a lot of swinging, but Naruto found nothing happened. "Hey Fox, why isn't this working?" asked Naruto aloud, seeing as he was alone. "Well, you need to learn how to manipulate wind chakra first, obviously," said the fox, who was shocked at Naruto's stupidity. "Exactly how was I supposed to know that?" deadpanned Naruto. "Make 1,000 clones and have them all attempt to mold wind chakra and tear a leaf in half," finished the fox, ignoring Naruto's comment. "You got it," said Naruto, who made 1,000 clones and spent 4 hours trying to split leaves until they finally succeeded. "Yay!" shouted Naruto happily. Naruto then tried wind release vacuum sword and actually produced a wave of wind. "Alright, let's see how much damage this does," said Naruto, before he stood in front of a tree. He held the sword in a horizontal position and then lunged forward and swung his sword forward. "Wind release vacuum sword," called Naruto. A blade of wind chakra came out in the length of his sword and slashed into the tree, leaving a gash 10 centimeters deep. "Wow, awesome!" shouted Naruto, although it didn't cut too deeply. I guess I need to focus on concentrating the chakra to increase its ability to cut," said Naruto out loud. He practiced for another 2 hours until he was able to form either a gust of wind or a sharp blade of wind, before doing the katas the fox told him. After 8 hours of solid practice, he mastered the technique and the katas. Since he was tired, he left quickly and didn't notice a Junin who had been watching him train. Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke arrived at the training grounds at 5 a.m. The training grounds, Naruto noticed, was the one he had been training at. What a coincidence, thought Naruto bemused before sitting against a tree. Sakura once again ignored Naruto and attempted to get Sasuke's attention. Sasuke was eyeing Naruto due to what he saw yesterday, while Naruto used the time to meditate and in doing so, blocked out Sakura and Sasuke. Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto waited for 3 hours when Kakashi finally arrived. "Hey, you're late," yelled Sakura. Sakura's shout alerted Naruto to Kakashi's presence, so he promptly threw a wind chakra enhanced kunai at Kakashi. It tore through Kakashi, who had a shocked expression on his face before a puff of smoke surrounded him and a pierced log with a kunai-sized hole in it fell to the ground. Naruto turned around and threw another kunai at a seemingly random tree. "You know, Kakashi, you are starting to make me dislike those who are late," said Naruto calmly, while looking at the leaves of the tree which he previously threw his kunai at. "Oh, sorry, but a black cat crossed my path, so I had to take the long way around," said Kakashi, as he dropped down from the tree. No one bought his excuse and just looked at him with a set of skeptical, annoyed stares, with Naruto adding a slight growl in. Shrugging off the glares easily, Kakashi then moved on to the reason they were even out here in the first place. "Okay then, the exercise is to get these 2 bells from me by noon. If you don't get a bell, you go without lunch and you will be sent back to the academy," said Kakashi, oblivious to Naruto's anger. "So that's why he told us not to eat breakfast," thought Sakura, Naruto, and Sasuke. A ninja must see through deception. Although it was fun to make you skip breakfast. "Ready? Begin," announced Kakashi, causing all of the genin to quickly hide in the bushes. Line break. After a few minutes with no one moving, Kakashi decided to make his move. Kakashi appeared behind Sakura and tapped her on the shoulder. "Hey Sakura," whispered Kakashi, which caused Sakura to turn around. "Demonic illusion. Death mirage jutsu," said the form of Kakashi, which then vanished in a swirl of leaves. Sakura's eyes became heavy and she started feeling tired. Sakura," said Sasuke. "Sasuke," squealed Sakura, before she turned around and saw a mutilated Sasuke. He had his left leg dislocated and pointing backwards with heaps of kunai and shuriken sticking out of him all over his body, with blood steadily falling out of his mouth. "Sakura, please help me," croaked out Sasuke. Sakura then screamed and fainted while Kakashi thought. Despite her test scores, she couldn't see through the most basic genjutsu. Naruto and Sasuke didn't really care about why Sakura screamed, but they assumed that Kakashi did it, so she wasn't dead. "Hey Fox, how am I going to get a bell?" thought Naruto. "You could always try combing your techniques together," suggested Kyuubi. "Okay, I know what to do," thought back Naruto after some deliberation. Line break. Naruto then walked around and found Kakashi near the lake. "Oh sensei, I think it's time I give you a bit of incentive to stop being late," said Naruto in a sickly sweet voice. "Shadow clone jutsu," said Naruto, as he made his cross hand sign and created 10 clones. "Attack!" shouted the real Naruto. 2 charged Kakashi with their swords and each gave a horizontal strike, one from left to right, and the other from right to left. Kakashi jumped up and threw down 2 shuriken, but this is what Naruto expected. One more clone jumped down with both of his hands held together to give a clasped double-fisted hand strike and swung it at Kakashi's head. Kakashi anticipated this, so the clone ended up cracking a log instead, which Kakashi seamlessly swapped with. Kakashi then appeared in front of the clones, but 20 meters back from where he substituted. "Damn it, he's good," thought Naruto. Naruto went for one last-ditch effort and charged with all his clones following suit in a circular formation, as all of them tried to cut Kakashi down with their swords, with a diagonal sword slash from top right to bottom left. Kakashi was slashed and instead of oozing blood, disappeared in a cloud of smoke. "Damn, I can't believe him, he's good. I better get some help," thought Naruto, before he walked around, looking for Sasuke, as Sakura wouldn't be able to help for obvious reasons. Line break. Naruto found Sasuke fighting with Kakashi, and when he used fire style, Fireball Jutsu, he made his move. Naruto threw 12 three-pronged kunai about 2 meters apart from each other in a close-knit circle around Kakashi and then made 12 shadow clones who flashed halfway to each kunai and engaged Kakashi in a taijutsu battle. He then went out to grab Sasuke to tell him his plan. Naruto jumped back with him into some trees a fair distance away. "Hey, Sasuke. I know you don't like me, and I don't particularly like you, but I want to pass, so I need your help," said Naruto quietly. Sasuke thought about it and realized that if him and Naruto worked together, they might be able to get both bells, as Naruto had recently been surprising him. "Fine." Sasuke conceded, after a brief moment of deliberation. Line break. Kakashi was waiting for them to make a move and was reading Makeout Paradise. Seems like they are working together," thought Kakashi, feeling both boys approach him. Sasuke jumped out of the bushes and threw kunai and shuriken until he got Kakashi within the space Naruto's 12 kunai had made before. He then jumped back onto a branch on a nearby tree, ready to attack Kakashi if he tried to escape, and said, "Now Naruto." 12 more shadow clones flashed halfway to the kunai and surrounded Kakashi. They then all drew their katanas. "All right. Ready?" asked one clone, with all the others replying in the affirmative. All shadow clones charged at Kakashi 2 at a time, using wind release. Vacuum sword, opting to make gusts of winds rather than blades, and after they did it, using the flying thunder god technique to get away from Kakashi's counter, before using wind release. Vacuum sword again and eventually trapped Kakashi in a swirling tornado. "I don't believe this. How could a mere genin know how to use the fourth's most famous technique? It's unbelievable, even if he hasn't mastered it yet," thought Kakashi. At this point, Sakura had found where they were fighting and couldn't believe what she was seeing, since when was Naruto this good? He couldn't even do a simple clone jutsu at the academy, she thought in surprise. "Now Sasuke!" yelled Naruto, jumping away from the tornado. Sasuke made the hand signs and used fire style, Fireball Jutsu at the base of the tornado, and it became a flaming tornado. Unfortunately, the Kakashi that was trapped in the tornado turned out to be a shadow clone, which was revealed when it disappeared in a puff of smoke. "Oh crap," thought Naruto, before there was a shout. "Earth style. Headhunter Jutsu," said Kakashi from underground, before he pulled Naruto and Sasuke into the ground up to their heads. "Well, nice try, but you'll have to do better than that to beat me. I am a Junin after all," said Kakashi and his clone, which had pulled down Naruto and Sasuke respectively. "Ha, and you shouldn't underestimate us," said Naruto, as he puffed into smoke, while a kunai came out of a tree and struck the Kakashi clone. Naruto quickly jumped down from the tree, jammed both his fists into the ground with brute force, pulled Sasuke out by his shoulders and ran away. Kakashi's sweat dropped at this while thinking, well, he countered the jutsu. I guess despite how crude the method was. Quote, "Line break, man, that was close," said Naruto. "It was your fault. You gave him too much time to make a substitution, said Sasuke. What? Are you serious? It was probably your slow fireball that gave him the chance to escape, retorted Naruto angrily. Sasuke went to open his mouth, but Naruto put his hand over him, effectively silencing him, much to his annoyance. Okay. Forget all that. When we were fighting him, he looked really surprised when we did those moves. So, what I'm thinking is he will expect us to rush him with jutsu, so we will charge at him with pure taijutsu. I'll hit him high, you hit him low. Deal, said Naruto as he uncovered Sasuke's mouth. Sasuke liked the plan, but he was going to be the one to get the last word. I'll hit him high, you hit him low, said Sasuke, before he walked off. Sai always has to get the last word in, mumbled Naruto, before he followed the Uchiha. Line break. They have almost showed just enough teamwork to pass. Looks like I'm getting a team this year, mused Kakashi. Hey Kakashi, said Sasuke as he stood alone, keeping a distance of about 5 meters from Kakashi. Or not, thought Kakashi. Yes Sasuke, said Kakashi, giving an eye smile. I'm taking those bells, said Sasuke, before he rushed him. Sasuke went for a right roundhouse, which Kakashi blocked with his left arm. Sasuke then leaned back and brought his left arm around for a hook which was also blocked, this time by Kakashi's right hand. Sasuke then went for a jab straight to Kakashi's face with his right, which Kakashi blocked by bringing both his hands together. Got him, said Sasuke, as he let go with his left hand and reached for the bells. He just managed to touch one, causing it to jingle, at which point Kakashi pushed him away. This kid is something else, thought Kakashi, before he promptly dodged a sweep kick by jumping back. Got you now, said Naruto, as he followed up his sweep kick with a right uppercut. Kakashi hooked Naruto's arm with his left and flung him away over his shoulder. Sasuke waited for the release and charged back at Kakashi with a right jab. Kakashi spun and blocked with his right arm and threw Sasuke away in the direction opposite of Naruto. Kakashi waited for a moment before two shadows appeared above him. Sasuke and Naruto both slammed down with an axe kick on Kakashi's shoulders before he turned into a log which was smashed into splinters. Two clones of Kakashi snuck up behind Naruto and Sasuke and were about to use 1,000 years of death on both Sasuke and Naruto. Sakura, who had been waiting before, managed to get him away from both by throwing two kunai. Both of the clones were hit and disappeared in a cloud of smoke. All three of them were looking around when they saw both bells in the center of where the shattered log was. They all jumped to them, and all came to the same conclusion. 3 people and only 2 bells. What do we do? Asked Naruto. Kakashi was behind a tree waiting to see what they would do. Well, you two are the ones who made him drop them, so gulp, you guys should take them, said Sakura reluctantly. Yeah, but Sakura, you are the one who stopped him from hitting us both with that last technique, so you should get one as well, said Naruto. Sasuke spoke up after a moment. Listen, there are 3 of us and 2 bells, right? Sakura and Naruto nodded. So that means one of us has to fail, concluded Sasuke. Sakura then remembered what Kakashi had said. Not necessarily. Didn't he say a ninja must see through deception? Asked Sakura, to which Sasuke and Naruto nodded. So maybe this was a test in the test, concluded Sakura. Yeah, you're right, so maybe the purpose of this test was to see if we could work together as a team, rather than actually getting the bells, said Naruto. As Naruto said this, there was the sound of clapping. Very good, Naruto, that was the purpose of this test, said Kakashi, walking towards them. The chances of 3 genin beating a Junin are much better than 1 genin on his or her own, which is why I set up this test. Its purpose was to see if you could work together even though one of you may fail, continued Kakashi, standing in front of his 3 genin. In ninja missions, those who break the rules are scum, that is true, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than scum. Now there is only one more thing to say. You all pass. Team 7 will have its first mission tomorrow. As he finished saying this, a Junin appeared and spoke to Kakashi. Kakashi nodded and then spoke, okay, the rest of the day is yours, but Naruto, I want you to wait for a minute. Sasuke walked off, while Sakura quickly followed and tried to get a date. Line break. So Naruto, I take it you don't know who this person is, do you? Asked Kakashi, to which Naruto shook his head. Well, in that case, let me introduce you to Hayate Gecko, one of the best swordsmen in the Hidden Leaf Village. Apparently, he saw you using a sword at this training ground yesterday afternoon and he seems to think you have potential, so he has volunteered to teach you Kenjutsu. Finished Kakashi. Really? Wow, thanks a lot Hayate-sensei, said Naruto happily. So Naruto, are you willing to give up 2 hours after all of your missions to allow me to train you? Asked the sickly special Junin. Hayate had short brown hair and dark eyes with protruding bags. He had pronounced lines under his eyes, as well as an unexplained chronic cough that plagued him. He wore the standard leaf shinobi outfit complete with a forehead protector that he wore as a bandana, flak jacket, and regular shinobi sandals. He also carried a katana with a rectangular handguard strapped over his back. Sure, I wouldn't mind at all, said Naruto eagerly, excited at the prospect of learning from a master. Okay, so Naruto, after you finish your missions, meet Hayate here at Training Ground 7 for sword training every day, at 3 p.m. sharp, said Kakashi. No problem, said Naruto saluting. In that case, you're dismissed for now, said Kakashi, with his patented eye smile. Naruto left and headed to the Ichiraku ramen shop for lunch, as he had skipped breakfast, and it was now noon and therefore didn't hear what Kakashi and Hayate were talking about. Does he really have that much potential in Kenjutsu? Asked Kakashi seriously. Yes, he was using a style similar to the Demon Fox style cough, which is very difficult to learn, said Hayate just as seriously. You don't think he can talk to the fox, do you? Asked Kakashi with a concerned undertone. I think so, otherwise there is no way he could have known it, said Hayate. Very well, I'll tell the Hokage. Finished Kakashi, and a moment later both left the training field in a body flicker, leaving only a clump of leaves behind. Line break. Naruto was walking to Ichiraku when he bumped into someone. Said person turned around and that person turned out to be Tenten. Oops, sorry Tenten, said Naruto. Oh, hey Naruto, don't worry about it, she replied easily with a small smile. Hey Tenten, guess who my Junin sensei is? Asked Naruto. Who? Asked Tenten. It's Kakashi MMPH. Naruto couldn't finish because Tenten had covered his mouth with her hand. Don't say that so loud, someone might hear you, Tenten whispered, hoping nothing would happen, but unfortunately, someone had heard. Kakashi, you say? You know that Kakashi and I are said to be eternal rivals, said a man. The man was tall and well built with high cheekbones, thick eyebrows, and black hair cut in a bowl style. He also wore a green jumpsuit, orange striped leg warmers and the standard leaf flak jacket, though it was unzipped. His forehead protector was on a red cloth and was worn around his waist, like a belt. Who are you? Asked Naruto, after Tenten reluctantly removed her hand. Me, I'm the Leaf Village's sublime green beast of prey, Might Guy, said Guy, flashing his nice guy pose. At that moment, another, Mini Guy, appeared and started talking to Guy. Guy-sensei, I did it, 500 laps around the village in under an hour, said the Mini Guy. Nice work, Lee, said Guy, once again flashing his nice guy pose. Hey, Tenten, who are these guys? Asked Naruto in a whisper. Sai, they are my teammate and sensei, she replied. Naruto was about to start laughing, but saw she was serious, so repressed his laughter and patted her on the shoulder. You poor girl, said Naruto sadly. What is your name? Naruto asked the Mini Guy. My name is Rock Lee, said Lee, giving a nice guy pose, which consisted of sticking out his right hand, thumb extended, while flashing a smile, with his right eye closed. The light seemed to make his teeth flash to the point that Naruto was almost blinded. Lee possessed very thick eyebrows and large, rounded black eyes, with prominent lower eyelashes. His hair was cut and styled into a bowl cut style like Guy. He also wore the same attire, consisting of a green jumpsuit, orange leg warmers, and a red forehead protector worn as a belt. The only difference between the two concerning their attire were the bandages Lee wore around his hands and wrists and his lack of a flak jacket. Naruto twitched at the resemblance and then remembered his manners. Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you my name yet. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, said Naruto smiling. Guy noticed the bulge around Naruto's ankles and wrists and asked, are you wearing training weights? Naruto nodded and both Lee and Guy got flames in their eyes and started saying, "That's the way, let the power of youth explode." Tenten, trying to shift the conversation away from the power of youth, turned to Naruto. "So how much are they up to now?" asked Tenten, genuinely curious. "Oh, the wrist and ankle weights are up to 50 each and the vest is on 100. As Naruto said this, Tenten's jaw dropped. "But you were only at 5 and 20 last week, how did you improve so quickly?" Tenten asked, amazed. Naruto shrugged his shoulders. "Guess I'm just awesome," said Naruto, smiling at the end. "HMPH, awesome thanks to my power giving you accelerated healing," grumbled Kyuubi. Lee and Guy heard this and then made a challenge. "We must not let our flames of youth diminish, Lee," shouted Guy. "Yes, Guy-sensei. Let us do 500 laps around the village on our hands in 1 hour, and if we cannot do this, then I will do 1,000 push-ups," shouted back Lee. "That's the way, Lee. I too will do 1,000 push-ups if we do not get around the village in half an hour," shouted Guy, before he took off with Lee following. After they left, Tenten was going to leave, so Naruto quickly asked, "Hey Tenten, do you want to get some ramen with me?" Tenten thought for a moment and then said, "Sure," with a smile. Line break at Ichiraku. Naruto was telling Tenten about the test they had to do to become official genin. "Wow, Kakashi sounds tough, but at least you passed," said Tenten. "Yeah, I guess. So, what's the deal with your teammates?" asked Naruto, still thinking about what he saw moments ago. "Well, Lee and Guy are both a bit, how can I put this nicely?" started Tenten, before pausing as she tried to find the right words. "Training obsessed is probably the best way to put it. My other teammate is a boy named Neji Hyuga, who is obsessed with his clan and destiny," finished Tenten. "Wow, you have an obsessive team. What about you?" asked Naruto in between slurps of his noodles. "Me? Well, I guess you could say I am obsessed with weapons," said Tenten. "Well, I'll keep that in mind, but if you don't mind me saying, that's a much better thing to be obsessed with. Although the training obsession doesn't seem so bad. Or maybe it's better because you're the one obsessed with them," said Naruto, as he flashed her a smile. "Hey, told you, you like her," said the fox. "So you've said. Shesh fox, you got your point across, what do you want, a medal?" thought back Naruto sarcastically. "Grr, insolent brat," grumbled Kyuubi, before going silent. Naruto looked at Tenten and thought he saw a slight blush, but figured he was just seeing things. "I wonder if he meant that. Does he like me?" thought Tenten, who actually had blushed, not often on the receiving end of any praise other than Lee and Guy's exuberant encouragement. They both finished their meals and Naruto paid with his vouchers for both of them. They walked outside and said goodbye. "Thanks for lunch, Naruto," said Tenten. "No problem, Tenten, and if I see any rare weapons, I'll be thinking of you. Heck, I might even bring you back one from my missions," he replied. As he started walking off, he again realized what he said and how it could have been interpreted. "That was priceless, you should see your face. You're practically already trying to make her your mate. Although I don't think she would mind very much either," said the fox, almost crying from laughter. "Shut up, fox, we are not talking about this anymore," thought Naruto, who found he actually didn't mind the idea, but was getting annoyed with the Kyuubi's constant input. Sure, whatever you say," replied the fox with a grin, thoroughly enjoying the chance to rile up his container in a new manner, since he had stopped affecting his chakra. Naruto went home and got ready for bed. That night, the fox decided to shape Naruto's dream and made him dream about something that Naruto said they weren't talking about. Well, all he said was, "We weren't going to talk about it. He never said I couldn't do anything else," thought the fox with an evil smile, before he curled up and went to sleep. Stupid fox. Those were the first words Naruto spoke upon waking up that morning. He had been subjected to an interesting dream, namely the dream Kyuubi put in his head of him kissing Tenten for what to him seemed like ages. "You're one sad lonely fox," thought Naruto. "Sure, I'm the pervert, then again, I don't hear you complaining about what you saw. Maybe I should make you dream about kissing that Uchiha," suggested Kyuubi, trying to rattle Naruto. "If you do that, I will work out a way to summon you with less than half a single tail of power, beat you to a pulp, let you return back to the cage and then repeat," threatened Naruto. The fox didn't respond, and Naruto took that as the fox giving in for the moment. Naruto then got out of bed and did his usual morning activities and training, before he went to meet up with his team for today's mission: weeding a garden. I can't believe this is a mission, thought Naruto. Line break: after his mission, Naruto went to practice Kenjutsu with Hayate. Naruto, the style I'm going to train you in is called the Crescent Moon style, said Hayate, before proceeding to explain the style.